What's up, guys? This is Brian again from Lake Hickory Scuba and Marina. In today's video, we're going to actually revisit the Troy Springs incident. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, simply click this link up here and it'll take you to a video from several years ago from where me and two of my friends were actually diving at Troy Springs, which is in the northern end of Florida. Now, Troy Springs is an absolutely gorgeous place to dive. It's basically just a sheer wall or a drop-off with a little miniature cavern at the bottom of it. And there's actually some shallow areas too, and it's got an old wartime boat sunk there too, so it's a really neat dive. However, the conditions can get poor very quickly based off how many people's there and based off the flow of the water coming through. Now, on the previous video that we did, I showed you where I actually got trapped into some limestone, and I showed you how I worked myself out, and I even talked about not panicking during certain situations. Well, today what I want to do is split screen the video for you, and I'm going to put the previous video up and I'm going to put the current video, which we just filmed this past weekend down there, and I want to show you the difference of what visibility or what you can see with better visibility. And I've also tried to edit it down to the exact same shots, both with good visibility and bad visibility, just so you can see just how close to the exit I really was. However, you couldn't tell it due to the visibility concerns. So pay close attention to the video. I'm actually going to commentate through it for you and give you some pointers here or there, and then I'll give you some final thoughts at the end of the video. Alright guys, so here we are at the beginning of the video. What you're seeing in the top right screen is the video from several years ago. The main part of the screen, of course, that is from this past weekend. And you can already tell the visibility is 100 times better compared to what it was back then on that previous video. Here you can kind of see the sheer wall that just kind of goes straight down. The entrance to the cavern area is all the way down there at the bottom. There's a log down there. It kind of marks it. You can barely see it there on the screen on the bottom. But Troy Springs is an absolute gorgeous place. This was actually my second trip out there, and you know, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a wall dive. It's great for free divers there as well. There's plenty of wildlife. There's gar. There's just freshwater fish galore. There's turtles that you can see. There's even an old warship that's in about 15 foot of water on the back side of this, which we don't show you in this video, but it's gorgeous there. And where the river mixes with the spring, it's just beautiful. It makes some really good shots if you like to do underwater photography and stuff. But here on the left side of the screen, you'll see I'm putting on my flashlight now. I didn't really need it there at the surface, and I had all the time in the world, to where in the previous video, if you look in the corner, you'll see we already had our lights on. I mean, that's the difference between a good day and a bad day there. On a bad day, there's a lot of students in the water. There's hardly any flow coming through the springs, and the visibility just gets really, really bad. On a good day, you can see top to bottom. You can see about 100 to 200 foot horizontally, and it's just absolutely perfect for any type of diver out there, not just recreational divers. But here we're coming up to the bottom, and I'm probably in about 60 foot here. I got about another 10 foot to descend down. The deepest part here is only about 70 to 71 feet. And like I said, I tried to merge these two videos together the best I could. I did have to edit the previous video down slightly just for time-wise to get the shots that I wanted. But I wanted to show you the difference between a good day and a bad day. So now here I'm right at that 70-foot mark, trying to stay off the bottom. But you can see the difference in the videos if you kind of compare them. We had great visibility today compared to the previous dive. Now, here I'm starting to come up into some of the limestone here, and if you look here in the next few seconds, you're going to see a little channel that goes up to the limestone. In this video, I didn't actually enter that channel. However, in the previous video, I did, and that's when I actually found myself trapped on at least 3 different sides. So you should be coming up here in just a second. You'll see the channel going up through there. And like I said, in the previous video, I had no clue that I was actually swimming up into it due to the visibility. And so there's the log that just kind of marks the entrance there, and then there's the channel. And so I actually swam right up inside that channel, unknowingly, of course, because obviously, as you can see, I couldn't see where I was at. And instead of making that mature decision to actually abort the dive, I chose not to. So there you can kind of see the comparison. There's the channel I swam up in. found myself trapped in there, and I actually had to work myself out. And as I've stated before, not panicking is the key to success, or to the key to your safety when scuba diving. No matter what it is that we do, anytime we find ourselves in a problem, we should stop everything that we're doing and go through our breathing cycle. We should relax, think about what's causing this problem and how to fix it, and then of course act upon it. Now if you take a quick look there, you'll see I'm not very far from the entrance to the cavern at all. It's only about 10 foot to my right. So in the previous dive, all I really had to do was simply deflate the air out of my BCD, swim 10 feet to the right, and then of course I would be out of that sticky situation. However, not knowing enough about the dive site, and with it being my first time there, I didn't have that knowledge to do that. And so once again, it was more important that we should have aborted this dive versus actually making that dive. But sometimes we get complacent, we get that God complex about us. Even myself, you know, I've been diving for 30 years, guys. I have well over 6,000 dives under my belt, and yes, I make mistakes, just like everybody else does. Thankfully, I'm blessed that I've lived to talk about those mistakes, and I've learned from them. But here is the exit point where I was coming out, and you can kind of see the visibility is 100% better on this dive compared to the last dive. And like I said, don't panic, guys. If you ever find yourself, first of all, you should never find yourself in that situation because you made a proper dive plan and you were mature enough to abort dives when you had conditions like that. But let's say worst case scenario, you still find yourself in a situation like that. Don't panic. Relax, breathe, stop everything you're doing, breathe. Think about what's causing the problem and how to fix it, breathe. And then, of course, act upon that and get yourself out of there. And then, of course, once again, breathe again. The breathing cycle is so very important. We never want to hyperventilate. We never want to go into a full-blown panic because it can definitely cause way too many problems. But, guys, that's it. That is the video from several years ago, and that's our previous video from this past weekend. I just wanted to show that to you guys, and we made a special trip down to Troy Springs just to get this footage for you, but I just wanted to show you the before and after a good visibility dive. So there you go, guys. As you can see, Troy Springs is an absolutely beautiful place. It's used by many divers, open water divers, technical divers, cavern divers, free divers. There's a ton of people that use this place. And on a normal day, it is very, very clear, and it's a very beautiful place to dive, and definitely a safe place to dive as well. However, on the previous video, as you can see, the conditions were not ideal, and by all means, we should have aborted that dive. But I also want you to understand that anytime you find yourself into a problem, stop, breathe, think, breathe, act, and continue to breathe. Don't ever let panic set in. Stress comes with every single time you go diving, and extreme stress can develop. We never want that stress to jump into panic, because if we panic, there's simply no coming back from that. We either fight or flight our way out, and I've personally never known a diver who panicked who actually survived from it. So with that being said, guys, please make sure that you have adequate training to do the type of dives that you want to do. Make sure you get good briefings and you understand what you're getting into. Don't be afraid to abort a dive, and guys, simply don't panic when you go diving. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you can see the difference of what visibility can do for you and why you should abort certain dives. No matter what your training and your experience is, your life is worth much more than any dive out there. So please don't ever risk your life when you don't have to. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you got any questions for me, please put it down in the comment section below. I'll be happy to discuss both this dive and the previous dive with you. And if you didn't check out the link, I'll link the the previous video down in the description as well. Just simply click on that. But guys, if you like this video, simply smash that like button for me. Definitely share it for me as well. As always, guys, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter, like us on Facebook, pin us on Pinterest, subscribe to us here on YouTube. And as always, guys, we appreciate your business. Guys, we really appreciate you watching our videos. If you liked it, make sure to give us a big thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, simply hit that subscriber button for us and make sure you hit the little bell to turn on all notifications. If you want to see some other cool videos, make sure to click these links here. They could be scuba tips, they could be diving videos, search and recovery videos, or gear reviews. Once again, guys, we really appreciate it.